Marco the Linguist. He's here now. Right.
Good evening to you all. Good evening, Sir Shaggy. It's a pleasure to be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can, Marco. And
Great.
pleasure is all ours. Marco.
Yes.
Yeah, introduce yourself a little bit and explain what you're going to be doing over the next little
Okay.
while.
Yes. About a week ago, I joined a podcast, a space, I should say, where we talked a little bit about the Mariupol Diaries that were collected 2 years ago. So it was a very special moment. I'm from the UK. I know some of you, not in face to face, but that's not a problem. And what I do on this platform is basically, apart from trying to reach out people who have a passion for languages like me, although this is also my line of work, is to be able to create and to build relation of trust and all around the world with people of many different generations. And this is what I mainly do. How did I come to this? Well, it's a very long story. About back in March 2022, I was basically invited to participate in this project, which was the translation of the Mariupol Diaries, which is, although obviously I'm from the UK, so I can't understand their pain and their losses. I kindly accept to translate the Mariupol Diaries in Italian, thanks to this wonderful man, Max. Max is from Lviv. We started to create our, let's say, a small bubble, if I may say so. And the Mariupol Diaries were translated, if I remember correctly, in 12 different languages. It's a very painful story of this mother who, from Mariupol, was trying to stay in touch with her son, Oleg. Oleg was at that time studying in Kharkiv, and therefore he didn't experience the hell that was unfolding in Mariupol. To make the long story short, from April 2022, I then decided to open my page here on what was then Twitter. And many people started to asking me why I was doing this. The reason why I'm doing this is, I'm glad to share this with you, is because I think that we all have to remember the sufferings of those who were there and who didn't manage to left that place. There are many families who have been destroyed, and this is very painful. A couple of months after April 2022, I was contacted by another defender. His name is Mikola. He's now in Odessa, who asked me, Marco, would you like to give a helping hand to some of our young people who are trying to learn and improve English? And some of them are now studying in Kyiv to become interpreters and translators. Obviously, this is something that I do on a voluntary basis, and these are very bright minds, people in their from 17 to 20 years old, and they are really making a difference, because those youngsters are the generation who will help Ukraine to connect even more to the world in the upcoming years. So this is why I'm here, Sir Shaggy, and thank you for reaching out to me, because I think that although the Mariupol Diaries as a project, unfortunately, they had a page. There is still a page on this platform that hasn't been maintained, but certainly I wish one day we will be able to bring this page back to life, because there are certainly more and more stories that needs to be heard. Um, I saved the story of Oleg's mom on my computer, and if you're happy, I will read it to you.
Yeah, please, Marco.
Okay, right. This is Oleg's mom. Just to give you an idea, his mom and the rest of the family were basically hidden in the basement of their building. So most of these are texts that have been collected together. I'll start. Son, I write this in case there is a connection and my message can be sent. We're okay, but we only have gas left now. They say there will be no gas soon, though. They are bombing a lot. There has been no electricity and water for 2 days already, but we are holding on. Today, someone came to us and we shared some food. The worst is when we do not know what is happening. We love you very much and hope you are well. Good morning, son. Now it's 20 past 8, March the 4th. We survived one more night. Last night we almost did not sleep. They were bombing so heavily, and the bombings were very close. I'm afraid to die and to leave you alone, but it's morning already and we are alive. We still have gas, thank God, but that is all. We love you so much. Please take care, dear. Dear son, it is now 33 past 9. We are okay. It is only 15 degrees in our house, but we have worked a bit and warmed up, and we're so glad we were so thirsty. We have found a box with Christmas lights, batteries, and one flashlight. Now we have light. If our phone batteries get low, let's agree that we will try to call Grandpa's phone at 12 p.m. and 9 p.m. We will switch it on during that time. We love you. Good morning, son. I realize I'm keeping a diary as Anne Frank did. We are alive. Every morning we first check if there is gas and how much water we have. Thank God we have gas. We still have 4 bottles of water. We switch off our phones and read a bit only in the evening. There is only one power cell left. We need to conserve it. Yesterday, we got to the 12th floor twice with a phone and a tablet and found a cell signal. Although there was a weak signal, our message wasn't sent and we couldn't call. Yesterday, people came back home with empty water bottles. They didn't find water. We saw a man who scooped up water with a dustpan from a puddle. What a horror. Every day I'm afraid of tomorrow. I'm afraid to sleep, fearing that they will bomb us tomorrow and we won't be able to hide while standing in line to get water. And we are so sick of looters. During the first days, they broke into every shop and robbed stores. They were just stealing and stealing bags with perfumes from a perfume store, which was burned, lambskin coats, boxes of herring, cabbage in the buckets, diapers. Even people from our house were stealing as well. Aunt Nina, the blonde one who is feeding cats. It's awful that we live among these people. All this happened because policemen were on the front line. Dad heard that now it's becoming impossible to patrol. Looters are being caught and their trousers are taken off so that they walk around bare-assed. We love you very much. Take care, my dear. More than anything, I'm waiting for the moment when I can hug and hold you tight and for this hell to end. Kisses from me and Dad. Write you tomorrow, my dear. My dear son, hello. We are alive and our hell continues. We spent the night in the basement at somewhere, the location is not disclosed. We are grateful to them for hosting 4 of us. Yesterday, there was a terrible explosion as a bomb was thrown from the plane at the maternity hospital. A window in the kitchen and a balcony door had been blown off. At that time, we were lying on the sofa in the bedroom. We heard later on the radio that it was a bomb that left a crater with a diameter of 10 meters. We ran out of the apartment in our socks into the corridor. Then we realized if we had such damage, then what about your grandmother? Dad ran outside and looked at their windows, which were all broken. We grabbed bandages in horror and ran to them. Fortunately, Grandma and someone else were alive, crying, and they were already standing with bags at the door of their apartment, or rather, its ruins. The explosion was so strong that all their windows were broken. The lock was broken out. The balcony was broken. Fortunately, they were not hurt. We grabbed their bags and looked them to our home, all trembling with fear. Our houses had been holes instead of windows. The door of grandmother's neighbor, who is in a one room apartment, was broken. We came back for our belongings and quickly grabbed the essentials, got into the car, and came here while there was explosions overhead. Here we've been sleeping in a basement, so cold that we were shaking. We've been sleeping on the floor, fully dressed, on polyfoam and thin blankets. We grabbed some blankets, but it was not enough for the four of us. Also, we brought some cooked food with us. There is broken glass everywhere on our balcony. Today, we wanted to go to buy some food and clothes, but we could not due to the ongoing bombardment. We can't even cook the food because we are all hiding in the basement, and this is terrible. Today, a nine-story building nearby was struck by a missile. It is very cold to sleep in the basement. Dad is worried about his kidneys. I don't know if we will survive. We hope you are all well. Take care of yourself, my sweetheart. We have a lot of raw potatoes, but we can't cook them. We don't have enough water either. We are drinking peach juice in the morning to save water. We also listen to the news all the time. We hope for help. We only want to survive. It's very cold here, but we brought some blankets and my fur jacket from our house. We haven't showered for more than 2 weeks. We are dressed with many layers. We sleep with our hats on, in coats, with 5 sweaters and socks. We rarely talk. Mostly we watch the news or play card games. Yesterday we read a little under the light of the Christmas lights. Time is going slowly. Everyone is half asleep. Yesterday, Dad helped someone with the windows and doors on the third floor. I was very worried until he came back. I really want to survive and have a chance to hug you. Yesterday, someone hugged me, and I was crying quietly because I was thinking of you. But I'm really glad that you are not with us now. I really want you to be happy and alive. We are praying for the bombings to stop and that we will be able to hug our relatives as soon as possible. We love you so much. Take care, my dear. You are the most important thing in the world to us. Hello, dear son. How are you? Are you all right? We are so worried about you. We heard that there are airstrikes in your area too now. We really hope that you're safe. We are still alive. Today is Monday. We all are in the basement. It gets worse with each new day. Yesterday or the day before, we might have risked going up to our home, but today we are too afraid to even go to the first floor to use the toilet. Somewhere near, our soldiers have placed heavy weaponry, and there are some horrifying sounds of shelling all the time. There are Russian fascist planes in the sky. Pure horror. We are barely able to cook food. We have to do it outside near the garage, but it's really dangerous there. We're almost out of the water, but everyone is too afraid to go and get it. We don't eat much. One serving is not enough for two. Dad is constantly hungry. Son, my darling, I'm texting you from Dad's phone since my battery died long ago. It's March 13th today, and we are still alive. I haven't been in touch for long. I'm trying to save the battery. I don't know where to start. You know what a nightmare we are in. The city seems to be completely destroyed. In addition to ground rocket systems and other heavy machinery, the aircraft is constantly circling and bombing the city. Friends come to visit and tell us some news. Yesterday, the General Post Office was bombed and the building was split in half, and there were people hiding in the basement. And it remains unclear if they are alive. There is no one to rescue them. We, at risk of our lives, went home twice to get some food and blankets. Even brought 2 bags of potatoes, a few boxes of biscuits, some tea and candies. We wanted to thank the people who are providing us shelter. My darling son, today is March 17th. My phone battery has charge left. We are still alive, though there were many times we were sure we would die. We are in hell. We are being bombed, shelled with mortars. There isn't a building left that hasn't been damaged. The whole city is on fire. We are even afraid to leave the basement, where the whole town is hiding with children at night. We get little sleep. All the people in the shelter just stand and pray in the corner. We are terrified. Windows in our car were damaged, and there is a big crater behind it. It is impossible to leave by car now. We don't know what will happen tomorrow if we survive. God, why has this happened to us? We are praying that we are safe in the shelter. Someone has to cook for all of us, poor woman. She's a saint. Food portions keep getting smaller and smaller, and Dad is hungry all the time. Cooking should be done in the garage, but it's still very dangerous. Windows and doors are shattered. Dad and someone else try to fix them while under fire. It's really cold in here. The temperature is 5 degrees and it's constantly dark in here. We pray that you are all well and happy. You're doing fine. You will handle everything. I really want to believe that we will survive and see you. We love you very, very much. Stay safe, dear son. So this is uh, the story, which is basically a collection of text messages that Oleg's mom managed to send him. And after Mariupol was totally destroyed, together with Max and all the volunteers, we started to translate these diaries. This is the first story, unfortunately, but there are many more. The problem is that obviously it is very difficult to retrieve stories from other residents from Mariupol, but hopefully one day we will be able to talk a bit more about this. It is a very painful moment, although I wasn't there. Sometimes I feel something in my back because I know that we're talking about human lives, and these are not just uh, fantasy stories. These are moments of reality that unfortunately many people have experienced in Mariupol. That's this is also one of the reasons why I'm here, because it's important uh, to help the new generation to be prepared and hopefully to live in a safer, because we all want Ukraine to survive. Um, I'm happy to, and I'm grateful that you gave me this space. And I'm sorry that I I interrupted the news, but certainly I think that it's important to remember them,
Yeah.
especially now.
Yeah, no, Marco, no need to be sorry. I'm very happy you came up. We've been trying to, hoping to get you up for about a week now. Since
Yes.
since I first heard you read it out, made me very emotional then, and got me again now. And I think it's hugely important to get the stories out and to get these diaries read, as many as possible, and be heard by as many people as possible. Ioana, what did you think?
So I'm very touched, Marco, and thank you for being here. Thank you for reading this to us. Thank you for the very important work you are doing. The stories from Mariupol have to be heard because people tend to forget what happened there in a wonderful city of almost 500,000 inhabitants before the war. It was a beautiful, thriving city on the shore of the Azov Sea, and we have seen images with the city before Russians brought their Russian mir into it, basically destroying 80%, 90% of it. And I wasn't on Twitter at that time. I was on another app. But I know the stories of the siege of Mariupol. And I didn't know this particular diary because probably it was in Ukrainian and it didn't get into, the press, the social media. But I knew about the diary of a little boy from Mariupol, Igor, 8 years old, and he kind of kept a diary to keep things together. And it's also very touching. He kept it on a school notebook. He has some drawings on it. And finally, it's a good story because they managed to get out of Mariupol and they first got into Zaporozhye and then in a safe place. But how many stories are not happy ending story? And when you were reading, like my heart just shrunk because I was saying to myself, God, this is March, and the siege of Mariupol lasted until May 20. And we can see how the situation was deteriorating there without electricity, without water, without food, without gas, with people forced to cook on the street because you have no other way, with the constant bombing day and night, with the danger with the planes, the fastest planes, as this lady said, flying over, and knowing that, this is like almost no escape from it every single day. And yeah, sorry for talking so long. I didn't want to take the space. I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for sharing the stories. Hope you come back. And I don't know if I can be of help. I can translate in French, for example. Um, just give me a sign. Thank you.
Joanna, no, thank you for being here. Last time that I talked to Max Titov, he has a page on this platform, and Max started to work for a very special project, which was providing trucks to the front line. And from time to time, I have the blessing to hear from him. So if you wish, I can certainly keep you posted. That is not a problem at all. I know that if I remember correctly, the story was translated already 2 years ago in several languages, but I think that there is space for everyone, and I hope that one day we will be able to restore the website. There was an official website on Mariupol Diaries, but as war is unfolding, unfortunately, finances were very limited to keep this page alive. But it's certainly something that I will look into it, and hopefully with Max help, we will be able to bring it back. Thank you for your words, Joanna. Thank you so much. I think that I should thank you all and leave the space to Tracy for more news.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, I don't mind you breaking in at all. I'm so pleased that you are here, and I'm really, really appreciative that you came, Marco. And I'm very, very happy to break for the news. I'm a little bit lost for words right now. And that was really, really impactful. And it brought back many memories of things that we all saw and happening around that time. And I think that is a really important point why we need you to be here. And Sir Shaggy and I would be very grateful if you would consider returning, because it's about bringing this information to the international community. It's about not forgetting these people. And I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for everything that you are doing. I hope that you will return. And although these things are very, very difficult to hear, we all must hear these things, and we all must remember these people. We all must not forget what's happened. And again, I think to raise awareness in the international community, something like this does have a big impact upon people, and that as well is very, very important. So I'm very happy to break for the news. Of course, I'm not happy that we have to all hear these things, but I am pleased that you are doing the work that you are doing. It's incredible, and it must have a big impact upon you as well. So thank you so much, Marco. I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm still in touch with some, they're not just friends, they're now part of my family, and some students are now studying abroad. I will ask them if they feel up to come on board in the future, because obviously they are also trying to rebuild their lives, and after having witnessed those moments, those tragic moments, they obviously they are trying to rebuild and to start a new life. What I just would like to say before I go is that they are incredibly clever, and for me, I'm no longer a spring chicken, but I just would like to say that their tenacity, their resilience is a great example, and they can master, believe it or not, switching from one language to another. And one of them, I'm sorry if I don't mention her name here for privacy, but she's just a young soul and she can speak 5 languages, and she will certainly have a bright future. And I hope that that moment will come once Ukraine is liberated fully. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marco. If people want to come and speak here, we would be glad to make time for them to hear them, to listen to them. But I completely understand what you're saying. People are trying to rebuild their lives, and it's of course extremely important that they have the chance to be able to do that as well. Not everybody can talk about these experiences, and that we have to be absolutely respectful of too.
Yes, absolutely, Tracy. I agree.
Sir Shaggy? Okay, maybe Sir Shaggy's wiping his eyes a little bit, I think, like I am.
I did that about 30 seconds ago. Yeah, very emotional, that, Marco. And yeah, again, thank you for coming up, and we would love to have you back. I'd like to say anything else, Marco? I know you had to go. You only had a little bit of time.
I'm already running 15 minutes late, but thank you for having me, and I will keep in touch with you guys, and certainly we will meet again.